Today, I'm starting a new craft project that I've been wanting to do for weeks. A miniature Ferris wheel made entirely from popsicle sticks. I've laid out everything I'll need: sticks, glue, scissors, and a sketch idea. I don't know how it will turn out yet, but I'm excited to begin. I start by measuring every stick carefully. This part is a little slow, but accuracy matters here. If the pieces aren't the same size, the wheel won't be balanced later. It's kind of calming, like solving a puzzle one tiny piece at a time. Now it's cutting time. I gently trim the sticks along the marks I made earlier. I have to be patient, because if I rush, the wood splinters. It's surprisingly satisfying to see neat little piles of perfectly cut sticks forming on the table. Next, I start forming the base circle. I apply a small amount of hot glue and press the sticks together carefully. It's a bit sticky and messy, but seeing the circle shape form makes me feel like the project is starting to come alive. I hold the half-finished circle up to check the symmetry. If it's uneven now, the final wheel will lean or wobble. It feels like I'm sculpting something delicate. Just popsicle sticks, yet somehow meaningful. I add vertical support pieces one by one. The wheel needs a strong foundation if I want it to spin smoothly later. This is where patience becomes my best tool. I keep checking alignment to make sure everything stays straight. Time to paint. I choose white as the base color. It gives the whole structure a clean look and makes later colors stand out. Painting tiny wooden pieces takes focus, but it's relaxing watching raw wood transform into something more polished. I place the painted frame near the window to dry. The sunlight warms the wood and brings out the texture. While waiting, I take a short break and just admire how something so simple can start looking like a real miniature. I wrap the softened sticks around a circular mold and hold them in place until they keep their shape. It's a slow process, but every smooth curve gets me one step closer to a real Ferris wheel. With the curved rim and center point ready, I start connecting the spokes. Each stick has to meet exactly at the center. This part makes me feel like I'm building a tiny piece of architecture. First wheel finished! I lift it up and turn it in the light. It's not perfect, but I made it with my own hands. Seeing something go from an idea on paper to a physical shape feels incredibly rewarding. Using a tiny wooden dowel, I install the center axle. I drill a small hole so the wheel can rotate later. This is the moment where the craft starts to feel like a real miniature machine. Time for the first spin test. I give the wheel a gentle push, and it moves. Watching it rotate smoothly makes all the careful measurements worth it. I honestly didn't expect it to spin this well. Now I create tiny seats for the Ferris wheel passengers. I cut sticks into small rectangles and shape them into little chairs. They're so small that I have to use tweezers to hold them. I paint the tiny seats in fun colors: red, yellow, and blue. Suddenly, the whole miniature feels more alive and playful. Adding color brings personality to the project. To hang the seats later, I drill tiny holes around the rim. This step requires focus because one wrong move could break the wheel. I take my time and breathe slowly. I attach the seats one by one using thin strings. Watching them dangle makes me smile. They look like real mini carnival chairs. The pops of color make the wheel feel cheerful. Now I work on the base structure. Without a strong stand, the wheel can't stand upright, much less spin. I carefully glue the support beams in a triangle shape for stability. Time to decorate. I add tiny flags to the top, a small patch of fake grass, and even tiny LED lights. These details make the miniature feel magical, like a little amusement park. I apply a thin layer of varnish to seal the paint and give everything a glossy finish. It also protects the wood from dust. Now the colors pop beautifully under the light. I leave the Ferris wheel under a lamp to dry. After spending so much time on each detail, watching the final coat set feels like waiting for the curtain to rise at a show. I take studio photos of the finished miniature. It feels like photographing a real product, adjusting lighting, angles, and trying to capture every tiny detail that makes the craft special. I transfer the photos to my laptop and start sorting them. Seeing the project on screen makes it look even more real. It feels like I'm documenting my own mini engineering achievement. I clean my workspace, putting away tools, collecting leftover sticks. Crafting can be messy, but tidying up after a completed project feels refreshing. Here it is, the Ferris wheel I built from nothing but sticks and imagination. Holding it in my hands, I can't help but smile. It's small, imperfect, but it's mine. I place the miniature on my display shelf. Watching it sit among the crafts I've made reminds me how far I've come. Every project becomes